Hey, what is going on, everybody? posiosnow here, and today we are starting a new series called Modern Warfare 3 In-Depth Reviews. This is kind of a follow-up on the summer of 2011's Modern Warfare 3 gun reviews. However, now that the game is out, we have a better understanding of how the guns work, how to use them, or even if to use them at all. And let's get started. The first gun that I chose for today is going to be the MP7. The reason I chose this gun is because it's one of my favorite guns. It's very powerful, and we'll get into why. But from now on, you guys will be able to choose what guns I review, or even what equipment I review. In the comment section below, all you need to do is tell me what gun you want to see reviewed in the next video, and the most requested gun will be reviewed. Yeah, let's get started with our first gun. So, the first thing that one may notice about the MP7 is that it unlocks at level 74, which is one of the highest unlocks in the entire game. This is kind of a shame because if you want to use the gun a lot and you only have 6 levels to use it, and you want to prestige, you don't really get to do all 3 things at once. So, the one thing that I would recommend doing with this gun is I would use my prestige token to unlock the MP7. To those of you that have not used it before, it may seem like kind of a waste, but you will not regret it. This is a very good gun, and we'll get into why. First of all, the magazine size is 40 rounds, and this is second place in the SMG category, only being beaten by the P90 at 50. However, if you use the extended mags attachment, you're going to get 60 rounds in your magazine, and this is a very large amount, and you can get a lot of kills with one magazine. The aimed out sight speed is very high at 0.2 seconds, not even counting quick draw, and the reload speed is kind of slow at 3 seconds, so I would recommend using sleight of hand. The fire rate is 895 rounds a minute, which is second place in the entire game, only being out by the first place tie of the Type 95 and the PP90 at 1,000 rounds per minute. However, if you use the rapid fire attachment on the MP7, you get 1,120 rounds per minute, which makes the gun a very quick, very effective killing machine. And finally, the damage statistic. The MP7 has a 35 damage output up close and a 20 damage from a distance, making this gun a 3-hit kill from a close range and a 5-hit kill from a far range. The statistic can only be affected by using a silencer on the gun, making its damage drop from a shorter range, or you could use the range proficiency, which makes the damage drop from a farther range. The last thing I want to mention about the MP7 before we get into the actual recoil and hipfire measurements is that it has kind of an awkward iron sight. Now, this doesn't necessarily make it bad. However, if you don't like the triple block iron sight, I would not recommend using this gun with its iron sights. I would recommend using a red dot sight. There's a picture on your screen of the gun aimed down sight. Now, if this seems like it would be something that's uncomfortable for you to use, then yeah, use either a holographic or the red dot sight or anything that lets you avoid the sights. So yeah, right now we're going to get into the recoil and hipfire measurements with actual in-game footage. So the first version of the gun I'm going to use is going to be the MP7 with the kick proficiency. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to stand in this spot, fire at the wall, and look at the recoil pattern. Now the first thing you're going to notice is that it has a very perpetual and consistent up recoil, and this is like throughout the entire 3 extended mags magazine. All it does is just slightly go up, and I'm not at all controlling the recoil by putting my fingers on the thumbsticks, and also I'm spraying the entire 60 rounds of the extended mag magazine into the wall here. So this is going to be considered one of the lowest recoil guns in the entire game, just because of what you see in the demonstration. Now without the kick proficiency, you're going to see that it does tend to go up a lot more. Now as I spray all 3 rounds into the wall here, you're going to see that it goes up about twice as much, but it does not go side to side as much as it did with the kick proficiency. So as much as the kick proficiency did decrease my up recoil, it did also increase my side to side recoil. and I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, depending on how you are and how you are able to control your recoil patterns. But now we're going to go into the hip fire statistic measurement. So for both of these tests, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stand against the wall here and put my crosshairs in the same general area, the side crosshairs being put on the line between the two colors of the walls. And once again, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to wildly spray, and all three of my 60 extended mags magazines are just going to empty out into this wall. And the one thing you're going to notice is that it is a very tight, very powerful hip fire, and if someone is within a short to medium distance with you, they almost stand no chance unless they're wielding something like a good shotgun or the FMG9s. And as I say that, I pull out the FMG9s. Now the second one that we're using is the same exact gun with steady aim. So with steady aim, this is going to greatly decrease your hip fire, and this is going to make it much more deadly in close quarter situations. Now, as you see here, I'm firing it, and it's only going in a probably twice, maybe even smaller, but I'm going to say twice as little as the without steady aim hip fire. And at this point, this gun becomes one of the most powerful hip fire guns in the entire game. This is one of the best statistics about the gun, is that it is very, very powerful in close quarter situations if you hip fire the gun. Now, using what we've learned, we're going to talk about what maps you would want to use this gun in. Now, considering the recoil of the gun, you'll be able to use this gun effectively in almost every single map of the game. However, if you want to take advantage of the hip fire of the gun, I would suggest using this gun in close quarters maps such as Dome, Mission, Hard Hat, Arcadon, and so on and so forth. But really, you can use this gun in every single map. The one map that really stands out to me that I wouldn't like using this gun on is Interchange, just because of its extremely long sights. On that map, I would use something like a Type 95 or a sniper rifle, not necessarily an SMG. But pretty much everywhere else, I would suggest using the MP7, and it would work very effectively, and you will be on the top of the lobby if you know what you're doing almost every single time. Now finally for the class setup. The class that I would use with this gun. So first of all, the attachments that I would use with this gun would be something along the lines of the extended mags, rapid fire, or the silencer. Just because they don't really change up the gun much, but they help you in situations with rapid fire and close quarter situations, extended mags for spraying down multiple people, or a silencer if you're trying to be stealthy. However, if you don't want to use the iron sights, there's no problem with using something like a red dot sight or a holographic sight. The perks that I would use with this gun would be sleight of hand as your blue tier perk, quick draw as your red tier perk, and steady aim as your yellow perk. Basically, these just work the best, or the most compatible with the gun. Steady aim just to increase the power of the hip fire. Quick draw to get the first shot on your enemy, and sleight of hand because the reload speed really isn't that fast on this gun. That's one of the drawbacks. So yeah, that's actually pretty much it for this episode. Once again, if you guys enjoyed this episode, please leave a rating, good or bad. I do appreciate feedback. And for next episode, I would really appreciate you guys to tell me what you guys want to see. What gun do you want me to review next? I will be looking for that in the comment section. And if you have any questions about anything really, not even this episode, you can always ask me in the comment section or as a private message. But that's it for today. posiosnow out. Peace, guys. Have a nice day. Now quickly, if you guys have missed any of my previous videos, on the top is going to be a tutorial on how to get Modern Warfare 3 invisible guns. It's just how to get invisible sniper rifles. It's a class setup tutorial and a demonstration. And on the bottom is me getting almost a MOAB on the first day of the Modern Warfare 3 release. And I also talk about tips and tricks on how to become a commentator for starting commentators. Sorry about the false ending last time, guys. Poison Snow out for real this time. Peace.